So right now we're preparing our beds for the spring season. We're going to be planting some kale in here, and we're just pulling the weeds so that we can make room for our new plants.
Since we weren't using these beds in the first place, we allowed the weeds to come. Their root systems keep the soil intact while the soil is not being tended to. So one of the components of regenerative agriculture and sustainable farming is keeping your soil intact. Aside from reducing tillage, you want to keep live plants in the ground, and the weeds are living plants.
Some weeds have benefits.
It just so happens that we're aware of one of the aspects of hairy vetch being the nitrogen fixer.
We're visiting Smarter by Nature, a farm in Quincy, Florida. They're experimenting with different ways to feed people sustainably in our area.
Our initial introduction into land stewardship and growing food, it wasn't about profit, it was just about learning how to take care of the earth.
It was mainly a trip to the People's Climate March in New York that really ignited our fire. We noticed that we weren't the only ones who cared about the earth, and so when we came back from that trip, we wanted to do something to address the food insecurity in our area. So we decided, okay, we need to start a community garden. So we got together with about 15 of our friends to create a student community garden.
We live on the south side of Tallahassee, which was considered a food desert, which means that there's no local fresh food available within a 1.5-mile radius between any given point in that space. By the time we got back from the trip, we had our passion was ignited, and between addressing food insecurity and between stewarding the earth and studying its processes, that together created Smarter by Nature. You want to go over there?
Yeah. So we use a combination of growing styles. So we combine permanent raised beds with the roof stout no dig method by layering a lot of hay into our space.
They say that for every 3 inches of rain, when you store hay on your space, that it retains 1 inch of water to be over time into the soil.
They try to get the most from their soil and from their plants.
We're gonna cut these plants at the base. Oftentimes brassicas are looked at as annuals, and I thought so too myself, but we clipped our collards and they started coming back on their own. So we're gonna do the same thing here. Here's a little small echinacea growing.
We have different native plants that we plant on the first 5 feet of our bed to increase the pollination. There's a lot of native bees around here and butterflies, so we want to provide them with food.
We're solarizing these beds right now. This method is called solarization. We've weeded the beds right after rain so there's moisture, and what you do is you put a silage tarp over the beds, and over the course of 6 to 8 weeks it creates heat that causes the whatever weed seeds are in the ground to germinate. But because they don't have access to light, moisture, and everything else, eventually that they die.
And so for someone who's starting out, is there profit doing it this way?
For someone starting out, it's not profit. It's mostly learning, and learning how to bridge your system together, how to bridge your ethics. Everyone grows in different types of methods. Spreading hay is not the only method. Some people use cover crops. Some people make compost. There's a lot of different methods, and when you first start out, you're gonna be figuring that out and finding out what's best for you. We mix different things, but we're growing towards profit. One of the profits is the intrinsic value of gaining wisdom over time. I mean, we sell food. That's number one. It's just that the money goes back to our business. So it's not like necessarily profit to go on a cruise or something. It's profit to feed back into our business.
For WFSU, I'm Rob Diaz de Villegas.